Hello and welcome to the Stand Red Soundboard, brought to you by Standard Chartered. We are going to be bringing you the sounds, the chants, the energy, the passion, everything that you would expect to welcome back the Premier League champions. It's their big homecoming match, the first time back since being crowned champions. It's not as we expected it would be, it's not as we hoped it would be. Obviously, we'd all love to be in the ground, we'd love to be watching them there, seeing the atmosphere in the stands. We can't quite do that, so we're going to try and bring you the next best thing. If you've not joined us before and this is your first time tuning into the soundboard, welcome. What we're going to do is you get the game up wherever it is you're watching it in the world, however it is you're watching it, and then you have us up as your second screen. So we're going to be bringing you some chat, bit of commentary, but the main thing we're going to be bringing you are the chants, the songs, the sounds that you would be hearing from the Kop, so that you've got that noise that you recognise. The man that's going to be doing that is Mr. Jamie Webster. Jamie, how excited are you to see the Reds back at Anfield today?
Yeah, I can't wait to see us back at Anfield for the first time as league champions. Obviously, for me, I'd normally be there on a day like today. And for anybody else who will be there today, you know, unfortunately we can't. So this is what the soundboard's for. For those who are joining for the first time, basically what's going to happen today is when you see Liverpool coming out onto the pitch, you might hear this sound, you might hear this chant. And for example, if Virgil van Dijk makes one of those interceptions that he makes all the time, you might hear me playing this chant. And that's just basically to try and bring us all a little bit closer together and a little bit closer to Anfield.
So that's what Jamie's going to be doing. He's the expert on the soundboard. He's going to be bringing you all of those sounds, all of the chants. I'm going to be reading your tweets. You getting in touch with us via the hashtag #StandRed, so you can tell us where you're watching in the world, how you're enjoying, and also what chants you want to be hearing Jamie playing. But we're not alone. I'm incredibly proud to say that we are joined by LFC legend, Mr. Jason McAteer. Jason, how excited are you to see the Reds back at Anfield today?
Oh, it's brilliant. Obviously, the game last week against Manchester City was disappointing, but I think we can all understand after a couple of days celebrations, and you know, I'm sure Jurgen's preparation would have been slightly put off by everything that was happening. There would have been a lot more media, a lot more press for the lads to do. So you can't quite go into that game, you know, not thoroughly prepared. So I kind of understood the result and the performance, to be quite honest. But today, we're back at Anfield, as you've just said, as champions. It's disappointing that we're not there in person, but we'll certainly be there in spirit. And with Jamie and yourself helping us along with all the chants and the noises, I'm looking forward to the game now.
And what do you think last week, Jace? Did you miss us last week, us not being there, giving you all a chance?
Yeah, I did, mate. Yeah, obviously I was working the game in the studio for Liverpool TV, so you know, I was there in some kind of capacity, but yeah, I missed it. You know, doing one of these last week. When was it? About 10 days ago now. Oh, it seems so long ago. Yeah, obviously sitting and listening to you, pressing the buttons and getting the chance going. It was it certainly added to the atmosphere, mate. It's second best thing, to be fair. I know there's nothing like the real thing, but you are trying your best.
I am, mate. But it's good to have you back with us anyway, Jace.
You're right, Jason, that there is nothing like the real thing. And I know you've said on previous shows that it's kind of the home advantage that we'd normally expect. Anfield on a day like this would just be absolutely mad. The sound, the kind of the excitement from everyone of getting to welcome the champions home for the first time. And I know we haven't got that kind of traditional home advantage, but the last time we were at home, we beat Palace 4-0. So you'd hope that today's going to be a bit different to our fixture against City.
Yeah, firstly, you know, I feel for the lads because they, you know, what they've given us over the last 3 or 4 seasons has been phenomenal, and you know, for them not to walk out. I know the trophy lift is not today, but for them not to walk out to that full crowd and be appreciated by us, you know, was bitterly disappointed for them. So, you know, we need to have one little thought for them, but I'm sure they'll put on a performance after last week's disappointment against Manchester City. They're playing a team today in Aston Villa who, you know, haven't won a game in 8. So, you know, they're struggling a little bit. They're battling for points, but, you know, Liverpool want to put a show on back at Anfield. It's a fortress for us. You know, we haven't been beaten there for a long, long time. So I thoroughly expect the right result today back from the lads.
Well, as you say, I mean, Aston Villa aren't on a great run by any stretch of the imagination, and they're not in a great place in the table. But Jamie, last time we played them at Villa Park, we were 1-0 down for pretty much the entire duration of the game. And then we get 2 late goals. It brings us back and it kind of reawakens it. And you've got our away end there kind of cheering them on. Psychologically, and especially after the City result, Liverpool are not going to want to go 1-0 down for 80 minutes of this game.
No, definitely not. I mean, I think Jason's right, and I think it'll be a completely different sort of attitude and application from the lads today. I think the City results will spur them on to make a further statement, and they'll want to put 3 or 4 past Villa themselves today. You know, it's not going to be an easy game, and Villa do have a good record at Anfield, but you know, I think the sad thing about it all is, like we say, not having the fans there, you know, singing them on, you know, singing the champions home and welcome them back in the way that we always dreamed that we would. I think that's going to be that's going to be the bitter pill for the players today. But hopefully, like I say, they can turn the frustration of the City game into what they need to get the result today. And hopefully, you never know, somewhere along the line, some of these chants off the soundboards, they might be echoing around the houses of Anfield, so they might hear it.
Absolutely. Well, Jace, I know that one of the last times Jamie was on, he was talking about his first experience of Anfield when he was just 3 years old, and he was talking about that kind of that wall of sound, the noise, the chants, and that's the thing that kind of sticks with you from your first game, but also every single time you go. From your experiences, not just as a player, but as a fan, kind of going as a young lad, what do you imagine today would have been like if we actually gotten to be in the ground to welcome them home? What would it have sounded like?
Well, firstly, I mean, I think we all, when we talk about going the game and stuff, I think we instantly put ourselves inside the stadium, don't we, with the noise and the atmosphere. But going the matches, you know, it's a lot more than that. Jamie will tell you, going week in, week out. I was lucky enough to be a player, so I was doing it from a different aspect. But, you know, I mean, growing up as a young kid, and when I was lucky enough to get a ticket, it's the journey to the game, you know, whether it's coach or bus or car or walking or whatever it is. It's that camaraderie with all the other fans and seeing the noise and the colour and the smell of the burgers outside all playing a part of what's to come. And then, you know, the atmosphere building outside and, you know, the energy getting generated is just phenomenal. And then you manage to get into the ground. And, you know, that's when you start hearing the chants that Jamie's going to be playing later. And you're part of that, you know, you're singing away, you're trying to spare the crowd, the players onto, you know, to get a positive result and to do better and run harder and tackle more fierce. So it all plays into, you know, a spectacle. It's not just about being in the ground and listening. It's the whole sort of atmosphere and scene that we create from the minute we get up to actually leaving the ground. So it's such an experience, and it's just got better and better for us, hasn't it? As we've noticed the last few weeks, the last few months, you know, and certainly the last couple of seasons, winning trophies and winning Premier Leagues now, you know, we're just the best club in the world.
We absolutely are. Well, you're right as well. It's not just the atmosphere in the stadium, which is what Jamie's going to be trying to create and trying to build with a soundboard, but everyone's kind of experience of going the game is a bit different depending on who you go with, where you sit, kind of what your pre-game kind of routine is. And equally, for a lot of the people that will be watching at home, wherever you are in the world, your game day experience will be completely different. If you're in Australia, you'll be waking up, you know, in the middle of the night for it. If you're watching it elsewhere in the world, you'll be getting up at kind of crazy hours to be watching this game, because that's how dedicated fans are, and that's what we want to try and capture in this. So as you're watching it with us, we want to hear you tweeting in with Stand Red, letting us know where you're watching, who you're watching it with, and also the chants that you want to hear Jamie play. We've got one already in here from the Basaki boys, who are getting in touch with us from Indonesia. Have you ever played there, Jamie? Is that the first?
No, yeah. I mean, we've had a few messages from Indonesia over the past few games, but it will be a first for me. But what's happening, boys?
Well, they've said, hello from Indonesia. Miko and my sons, Jamie and Kenny, want to request Si Senor Bobby Firmino chant to sing along to. #StandRed, Mersey Sagrada, let's bring the noise tonight. So I don't know if those might be two Liverpool references in his son's name there. Absolutely respect that. But do you think we'll be hearing the Bobby chant today?
Yeah, that is, fortunately, that's one of the chants that we do have. I mean, there's been a couple of occasions where people have requested chants that we don't have, but we do have the Bobby chant. So, yeah, I can oblige you with that one, boys. So thanks very much for getting in touch. It's funny you mentioned about the burgers, though, Jason, Anfield, the smell of the burgers. And it's, as you said it made me realise, it took me back. And I always remember going to Anfield, and you'll probably back me up on this, they smell a lot better than they taste most of the time. And I always remember, week in, week out, week in, week out, saying to me, Dad, oh, Dad, can I have a burger? Can I have a burger? And I always remember him, oh, bloody hell, I'm on my way into the match here, blah, blah. And he'd always get me one, because I was spoilt like that by my dad. You know, taking me to the match wasn't enough. I always wanted a burger. And every week I'd get this burger, and I wouldn't like it, right? I wouldn't like it, but I'd sort of have to force myself down it. But then the next week when I went to match again, I'd smell it again, and it smelled dead nice. And I'd think maybe it'd be nicer this week, and I'd want a burger again. And yeah, I think I'd probably cost me dad about 300 quid in burgers in me age growing up to going to match. But it is a nice memory, that, and it was I made up you said it, because it took me back a little bit there.
Well, you've also had a shout about the Mackies that used to be on the Cop. That was that's a throwback. That
was a biblical time when there was a McDonald's on a Cop. You know, cheeseburgers and Robbie Fowler's, you know what I mean, and Jason McAteer's as well, obviously.
I don't know whether I should be telling you this story. When we used to play away on a Friday, say we were playing Chelsea on the Saturday, and we were getting the coach down to the hotel on the Friday. We'd train in the morning, and then we'd leave our cars at Anfield. So we'd get on the bus to leave for London. So before we'd get on the bus, we'd nip round to that Mackey's under the Cop and get a load of quarter pounders and chicken nuggets and that, and eat them on the way down to London. Diet, eh?
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
So we've just got the teams coming out now, so I think it's probably time to hear what we would be belting out if we were in the ground today. Jamie, do you want to let it go?
Yeah, the one and only You'll Never Walk Alone. Here it is.
There it is. I imagine if you'd been there hearing that, it would be incredible, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Even the cheer at the end, I tried to make it a little bit more how it should be, you know what I mean?
You'd be there knocking on the corrugated iron at the back of the stand. Jason, thank you so much for joining us at the start. We're going to catch back up with you later in the game, but let's hope that it's a very different fixture to earlier in the week.
Take it easy, Jace.
Yeah. See you later. Hopefully it's 10-0 at half-time, as you predicted in the warm-up.
You're not meant to say that. Getting to see the Guard of Honour is something pretty special. I don't think I'm going to get tired of that anytime soon.
No, definitely not. Another Guard of Honour. I mean, I like the way Virgil van Dijk sort of put it up on his socials this week as well. Do you know what I mean?
It's busted. Seeing all of their celebrations on their socials is amazing, because you kind of feel like they're all your mates anyway, because you watch them every week and you kind of feel like you know them, and then watching them all bouncing around to show me love, you're like, yeah, absolutely, that's what I want to see.
It puts them on a personal level, doesn't it? You just think that's what I'd like to do. You know, that's how I'd be celebrating a league title win as well. So we should get a Show Me Love chant going, like somehow work someone's name into it. There's got to be someone that we can get it in with. Let's see who comes in. There might be a story there.
A name that works with it. So you've obviously seen the teams that we've got for today. It's only a slight change on from City. I think a lot of people thought he'd be resting a few more players, but I don't know, what do you think that says about the match and how Klopp's hoping it'll go?
Well, yeah, first and foremost, I think Divok's new hairstyle and colour is absolutely amazing. But yeah, I think it's nice to change up the midfield, give Wijnaldum and Henderson a little blow, you know what I mean? Freshen things up. I think he's obviously looking to create today, because Chamberlain and Keita are very forward-thinking players. Obviously, Divok getting a nod, it's nice to see, do you know what I mean? He's at home. I think it's maybe change up a little bit against Villa. Maybe Villa are going to be obviously set up a certain way, and I think not having Firmino in the team is a big change in the game plan. So hopefully it throws Villa off a little bit and we see what happens, you know, at Anfield this year when he started against Everton, we come out 5-2 winners. So.
Exactly. I wouldn't want to be Villa today. You think when you're going up against any team after they've just had kind of a bit of a difficult loss, but when you're going up against the Premier League champions after they've just lost to their kind of biggest rivals, you do not want to be Villa today.
No, definitely not.
Absolutely not. So we're just going to go into a minute's silence now.
Right, here we go. Let's get into it. Come on, boys. Keep the atmosphere high for the first few minutes here. One of the chants that we never had from last week. I think one that Mo asked for actually, that we sort of lost, or I might have deleted, I don't know. But I'm just going to blame the director. But it's Poetry in Motion. Yes, we are.
We absolutely are. It's official. We definitely are.
Yeah. Best team in the world. Like I say, champions of Europe, champions of England, champions of heaven. The greatest team. Penalty, gotta be.
That is a penalty.
Gotta be. It's a terrible call, that. My reactions with the soundboard are getting a little bit better though, at least I remember to hit the button.
There's certain chants, you put them on at the first 2 or 3 for every game you've done, and it's like, you know, as soon as that first whistle goes, there are those chants that are going to happen at the start every single time.
They're the early chants, aren't they? It's like, it's sort of like ritual to get those chants out the way. Another one of them chants actually is this one. which probably should have come in a little bit earlier. He's just He's just manhandled them. Absolutely manhandled. Look, he's locked.
How is that not?
He's locked his arm in. I'm going to give him another boo for that.
Yeah,
Deserve it.
absolutely deserved. I know you were saying when you were on it before, Jamie, that when you're in the ground, or when you were little anyway, you wanted to be the one to start the chants. I have never been brave enough to do that. I don't know how you get yourself to do it.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't know if I've actually started the chant in the cop myself, personally. You know, it's like, I'm all right starting the chants when I've got my guitar on me and stuff like that, but, you know, to stand up and get, how many people are in the cop? It's close to...
I wouldn't even want to guess.
It's got to be close to 20,000 people. It's at least over 10, surely.
Yeah.
You know, to get that many people to sing along with you, it's quite a brave thing to do, but maybe once or twice, but I think you've just got to have a really loud voice.
Yeah, you've got to be a fella of a certain age with a proper booming voice that just knows if you're getting it started, everyone is joining in.
Yeah, I think you've got to be quite scary as well, so if anyone does like sort of give you a funny look, you can look back at them and say no, you know what I mean? But you know what I mean? You should never, ever, ever be ashamed to chant for your team.
Exactly.
So here's another one. That was a great switch of play from Virgil van Dijk, that. Suppose I'll have to credit the lads from Indonesia as well. They were the first ones in to request a song,
They were.
So let's give it to them. Even though he's not playing.
Doesn't stop her. that was one that was requested right at the start of the show. I think they even got in before we went live. They were that keen to get that chant out there. Should we have a look at some other tweets that people have been sending in to see what they want played?
Let's see what the Reds are saying.
So we've had Mayang Sagara. They haven't told us where they're tweeting in from, but they said, "Hi Jamie lad, which chants do you love the most?" That's a good one because you're used to playing them.
Yeah, I mean, my favourite Liverpool song, I think I've said it a number of times now, is it's actually not on here, but it's Paul Scholes to Tommy, and that's something that we'll probably, hopefully, get one day soon. Who knows? But Paul Scholes to Tommy is my favourite, but it's just because it tells a story of absolutely everything. But I think one of my favourite ones over the recent years, will probably be a bit selfish because I've wrote it as well, is the Virgil van Dijk song. I just think that's one of the better newer ones. Well, I would say that obviously because I wrote it, but yeah, definitely. But it's a good question, lads.
That is a brilliant one. That's one that whenever you hear it start and you're like, yes, I am getting involved in this every single time.
Yeah, you just know it's going to go off somewhere in the middle, don't you? And you know there's going to be bodies and arms everywhere. Yeah. So that's always the best type of song for me. It's
one of those songs as well that it's stuck so much now that when I hear the original song that it's based on, all I can hear are the Virgil lyrics. I can't remember it any other way.
Yeah, it's funny. I went to a gig to see someone perform in the university in Liverpool. And before this, obviously it wasn't a football related gig, and before that song was in the set list. And about 80% of the venue started singing Virgil van Dijk. The 20% were obviously not Liverpool fans, but there we go. Has anyone else been tweeting in?
We've got Iran Afandi has come on from Indonesia as well, said, "Come on champions, back to winning ways, #StandReds."
Out in force, the Indonesians today, aren't they?
Tell you what, that's not the only one. We've got another one. We've got Sarah Augustina, also from Indonesia, has said, walk on with hope in your heart and you'll never walk alone, you'll never walk alone, #StandRed, #Mersey Sagara, which I think might be a hashtag that they've got for the Indonesian Reds because I'm seeing that coming through quite a bit here. Another one from Indonesia, we've got Fajri Ahmadi, who has said, "I would like to request the Fields of Anfield Road. Let's show that we are the champions. #You'll never walk alone."
Let's give them it then. Right, well, seeing as he said that we are the champions as well, we may as well give him this one. We are still champions of Europe, by the way.
It might have stopped us from being in the ground, but the pandemic is the reason that we get to be the only people ever to be champions of the world, champions of Europe, and also Premier League champions.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad thing, is it? You know, obviously the pandemic is a bad thing. I'm not saying that before anyone decides to jump on that one, but yeah, it's not a bad thing being sort of undisputed champions of football, basically. Everything. I think we're just kings of football at the minute. I think that's the best thing to call us. There might be a new song in that somewhere, you never know. But yeah, it's never a bad time, but I think the game started a little bit slower than I'd have liked. Would have maybe like to be 1-0 up, or you never know, as Jason said with the pre-prediction, probably 3-0 up by now. But we'll crack on anyway. I'm going to be a little bit selfish again, and I'm just going to give you a little bit of my own song again. I might like the sound of my own voice, you never know. But here's Allez, Allez, Allez. All of Europe, we're never gonna stop. From Paris down to Turkey, we don't have the clean version yet, so I'm having to mute it down there. But Paisley, Hamlet, Shankly, the fields of Anfield Road, we are all supporters, and we come from Liverpool. Allez, allez, allez.
From Paris down to Turkey, we've won lots, but Paisley, Hampton, Shankly, the fields of Anfield Road. We are all supporters, and we come from Liverpool. Allez, 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 allez. We've conquered all of Europe, we're never gonna stop. From Paris down to Turkey, we've won lots, but Paisley, Hampton, Shankly, the fields of Anfield Road. We are all supporters, and we come from Liverpool. Allez, 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 allez. We've conquered all of Europe, we're never gonna stop. From Paris down to Turkey, we've won.
If John Barnes is listening now, you can't shout at me at half time today, mate.
Shankly, the fields of Anfield Road. We are all supporters, and we come from Liverpool. Allez, 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 allez.
I'll never get sick of that, you know.
Ah, thanks very much. Thanks very much. Isn't it nice to see Pepe Reina back at Anfield as well, though?
It's sorry, I thought that there was almost a goal that we weren't expecting there. There's something about that one that it just doesn't matter when you hear it, whether you're in the ground or not. It just makes you want to start bouncing and grabbing your mates, which you're not allowed to do right now. But it just, you know, it's going to go off when you hear it.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's similar to the Van Dijk one. Must be something to do with songs I've got involved in or something. I don't know. Might just be me being...
The magic touch.
Yeah, it might just be me being cocky, and I don't know. But yeah, definitely, that's a song that makes you feel part of something, isn't it? You know what I mean? That's what football songs do. I think if it makes you feel part of something, part of a family, part of an army, part of whatever you want to call it, then the chant or the song is doing its job. Do you know what I mean? If it's bringing people together, that's what music should do. And especially in the name of football, there's no better way to bring people together through music. And yeah, it's always a good, you know, I could play that song all over the world, and I could play maybe 15 or 20 other songs that the crowd may not know too well. But once you strum those first few chords and they get the gist that it's going to be LA, 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 you know, it's like me Wonderwall.
It is, it absolutely is.
You know what I mean? It's like me Wonderwall, and yeah, I've had so many good memories looking at different groups of fans from all around the world, all singing that song in front of me with their arms around each other, like you say. And yeah, it's something I'll never take for granted, and something I can't wait to get back to doing.
It's that feeling of belonging, isn't it? You're right, that it's, as you say, you can come from anywhere in the world, you can hear that song, but equally that kind of the first time you do get to go to the stadium, and the first time you hear those chants, you realise that you are part of something, part of this massive crowd, and that you're kind of all there for the same purpose, you all love the same thing, you all know the words to the same songs. And there is just something about it. I think having only got to go to my first match when I was 23, I felt it for the first time to kind of be like, this is where I belong. Yeah,
definitely. And you know what? Every voice matters as well. You know, it's both inside the stadium, outside the stadium, and at home as well. You know, especially if you're sat at home now. You know, the best way to feel part of something is to get behind the team in the best way you can, and that's usually with chants. And here we are. We could be on for one here today. Yeah, but it's a corner. So here's a chant that's often played at Anfield, well, sung at Anfield rather, when we get a corner, and that's this one. didn't material into anything that I thought it might. I had my hands on both buttons ready there for a ooh or a cheer, you know, but didn't happen. Has anyone else been tweeting in while we've been chatting?
We've got, so we have got Marta Juan, who just says she's at home and she's saying, loving the energy, great job, Allez, Allez, Allez. So she was a big fan of that one. We've also got Yassine Biar, who's from Morocco, who's tweeting into us, who just says, you'll never walk alone from Morocco. We've got Budi Pakurti from Indonesia again. We have got a big a big viewership in Indonesia, I'm telling you.
Indonesians are out in force.
With You'll Never Walk Alone, hashtag Stand Red. If you want to get in touch with us and you want to tell us where you're watching, be sure to use that hashtag Stand Red. We'll read out your comments and we'll also play the chants that you're requesting. So if there's any it can even be a player that's not on the pitch. We all know that we sing Bobby's name when he's not playing. So if there's anything you want to hear, there's players that you want us to shout out, that'd be great. And I think that's a massive thing, Jamie, that we talk about the kind of the impact it has on us in the crowd and how exciting it is and how it gets us all going. But for them, it's got that huge effect as well. And I think there are games this season where you can certainly see the impact it's had.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you look at games, even going back to last season, I mean, the Barcelona game, there wasn't just 11 men facing Barcelona that night, there was 11 men plus 56,000, you know what I mean? It always makes a difference, all the time, it makes a difference. And do you know what? But it'll probably go to, I think once this is all over and you speak to these players, you know, hopefully yourself being a journalist, you know, you'll actually hear how much of a difference there is without the chants and everything else, you know. But I would like to say as well, you're doing very well on the pronunciation of all the names there as well. I think it's an lead presenter sort of thing because I'm terrible with them, but going back to the chants anyway, one man who certainly is on the pitch is Divock Origi. From the very new school to the very old school. And then to Sutton, we go to Sutton and say mid-school. Back to old school.
You're right that there are some that kind of almost go in and out of fashion. Like you'll hear them, especially when one's new and you'll start hearing it all around you. And I don't know, at what point do you think you know that a chant is stuck? Because I think sometimes you see them, you'll hear them like on the bus back from an away, or you'll see them on Twitter. Like there was an Oxlade-Chamberlain song that I kind of started seeing on Twitter a lot. And there's a kind of a moment where you go, yeah, this is it now.
Yeah, I think it's just that. I think it's what it makes you do when you're singing. So I think that the Oxlade-Chamberlain song, it was a bit of a laugh. It's got a few questionable sort of, not from my end, but other people might argue questionable lyrics. And I think if it doesn't give you that instantaneous sort of sense of togetherness, or you know that it doesn't sort of fill you with passion when you're singing it, I think then it's not really going to be one that sticks. Obviously, player chants, sort of come and go with players. Do you know what I mean? The player chants, unless you're like we were talking to Barnsley last week, unless you're like a legend or sometimes your chants stay in the songbook forever. But one song, funny enough, you're saying chants come and go. One song that was quite profound a few years ago, and well, like say 20, 30 years ago, and then went missing for a bit, and sort of refound its voice under the Brendan Rodgers era, is one that I've played before today. It's this one. Certainly are, certainly are. You know what? Let's hear it for Virgil one more.
I think that Poetry Emotion was actually the first chant that I heard at Anfield, because I'm lucky enough now I get to sit in the Cop when I do get to go. But my first game I managed to get a ticket in the new main stand, the bit that's kind of right up and you feel like you're about a million miles away from them. But you're still in the stadium, and I think that was the first one I heard where I kind of thought, you're still so far away and you're in this corner of the stadium, but you still can't avoid that sound and it completely takes over the whole ground.
Well, that was a song that actually come to Liverpool. It was sung by Liverpool fans a little bit in the 80s. It was on like a sort of Cop Choir EP or LP, as it was called, and it was released. And yeah, like obviously I've heard that from, as a kid, my granddad and my dad, and going to the matches as a young lad, you heard all these sort of CDs that used to get played in the pubs and stuff like that. And I never ever heard it sung at a Liverpool match up until around the time Brendan Rodgers come in, and that's when it sort of to find its way back to the Cop, and it's a firm favourite now. Like you say, it booms around the ground every single week, and I think that shows it's a good chant. You know what I mean? For the life of me, I can't think why it went missing, but that's one of them things. But this is one I always like, and I think it's fitting now that we have won the Football League. What's happening there? There's a few appeals. No, let's just keep the pressure up with another chant.
So we are, obviously the game kicked off at 4:30 in the UK here. You may be watching it at all sorts of different hours wherever you're watching it around the world. But we're just 1 minute away now from 5 p.m. when we're going to be in the UK having a clap for the NHS and kind of more broadly a clap for our carers, not just because of everything that's going on at the minute, but it is actually the 72nd birthday of our National Health Service today. So I think those that aren't watching the match, and hopefully those that are, will be going out and having a big clap, making some noise and kind of celebrating our National Health Service and everything it's done over the last 72 years, and especially in the last few months, and kind of how vital and how loved it is by everybody in this country. So if you've got a cheer that you could start to get ready for it, that would be boss. And when we're on 5 o'clock, we'll give them a clap from our end.
Yeah, and I mean, even if you're not from this country, I think all the health services all over the world are doing absolutely unbelievable jobs at this moment in time, and you know, they're really, really fighting the battle on the front line for us all. So regardless of where you're from, I think it'd be appropriate to show a little bit of respect. And here it is, right on cue, 5 o'clock. We'll give our little clap. And you know what? I'll give them one better as well. I'll give you a cheer.
I know when we were at City the other day, obviously it wasn't the result we wanted, but at the start you could hear the fireworks outside the ground from, I mean, I'm assuming Liverpool fans that were out there kind of making the Reds know that they were there for them. And I'd like to think that maybe outside Anfield they can hear people going out and having a big clap now for the NHS.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not like Liverpool fans to go beyond the jurisdiction to make themselves known or seen or heard, and you know what, that's what's great about it. We do like to make ourselves heard, so let's just make ourselves heard that little bit more. Bit of a stalemate game, this one, isn't it? And you know, there's no imminent danger, but we're not sort of creating anything either. How does everyone feel about it online?
Let's have a look what they've been saying. So Paul Santana has been saying, it's great to watch the Reds play again. Thank you for playing all these chants while we are watching the game. Hashtag champions of England. Hashtag you'll never walk alone. You're welcome, Paul. We've also got Robert Glover, who says he's in Boston and NYC. So
I
maybe
actually know Rob Glover.
Do you?
Yeah, I do, yeah. All right, Rob, how you doing, mate?
Well, he's saying, hashtag Stand Red, tuning in with all of the crew from Boston and NYC at Carragher's Bar and the Phoenix Landing. Hashtag LFC USA. Tell you what, I've been fortunate enough to get to watch a game at Carragher's Bar, and it is a completely different experience to when you're watching it in the ground. It's amazing. Yeah,
to anyone in Carragher's Bar who's watching me, hello. Always great memories in Carragher's Bar, always great hospitality from Rob and Michael and Brian. And also I've played a gig in there, and the crowd was absolutely superb.
It's an amazing place. And I think when you go to places like that, and you must get this when you go touring, you really see the dedication of fans that are supporting Liverpool around the world. When you think you're getting up at whatever hour to watch this game, or you're sat there with a pint in hand at 9 a.m. because you're that excited to watch the Reds, you just think that is commitment that we don't get from just like walking up to the ground.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I said it the last time about the Australians. You know, when I went over there, I found it really get up and watch the match. Yeah. And same with the Americans, same with everyone who's sort of intercontinental Liverpool fan, you know what I mean? The dedication doesn't go unnoticed, you know. It really is. It's something to behold, and fair play to the lot of us.
Yeah.
So, let's get straight back in with the chants.
Let's try and get them, let's try and spur them on. If we can kind of make them feel that we've got these chants going, maybe we can get a goal this half.
Let's turn it up.
Tell you what, Klopp's definitely had a haircut, hasn't he?
I know.
He's looking sharp.
Wish I could say the same. I think it's time to go a little bit European as well. Hey!
You're getting good on that boo button.
I know.
All is well timed
it's
now.
the closest one to me, you know, that's all it is. It's just because it's closest to me.
I mean, that's the first time a decision's gone away, I agree with, in this
That's
game.
the first time I've actually pressed something on time, I think, as well. So it's a decent, it's a good day for all of us.
By the time we get to Newcastle, you'll just be like, all over it. Here we go. No.
All we need is a goal, but you know what? Let's just give them another chance.
They are looking a bit more lively all of a sudden and kind of creating a few more chances potentially. It's starting to look like it's picking up a bit.
Yeah, I think we're starting to find those spaces a little bit now. I think, yeah, like you say, we're starting to sort of penetrate a little bit and not creating chances, we're asking a few questions,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I think it's got to be a tough mentality, already being league champions, already knowing that basically you don't have to win a game to affect your position. You know, I think the level of concentration from these lads throughout the season has just been like, and not only this season, let's not forget how many points we've actually racked up in the last 2 seasons. Do you know what I mean? Last season we were only a point behind the champions. This season we are champions, 20 points ahead of the nearest contender. So, you know, it's got to be a tough mentality to take.
I'd be dead interested to know from Jason, actually, because he must have had that experience of kind of, you get to a point in the season where you know how it's going to go, you know how it's going to end, and for these lads, they know that they've won it and they can win it by 20 points, they can win it by 2 points or anything in between that. But I just think it would be interesting to know as a player how you kind of get yourself through those last 5, 6, 7 games when you know what the result is.
Well, we'll have to ask him at half time, see what he says.
It's you can see Salah getting getting very frustrated with certain parts of it, and I think that's the point at which he sometimes shifts up another gear that you didn't really know was there to make something happen.
Definitely. I mean, just hope let's defend this corner, get on with the chance, and hopefully, you know, you never know. Salah likes to break from corners a lot and score a couple of goals. Let's hope we can go in 1-0 up here.
I want a chant for Divock's hair after this, if that's okay.
Yeah,
please.
no problem. No problem at all.
Definitely
So,
deserves a
I'll
chant.
give you one now. There go the Roadrunners. Absolute safe as houses with
Yeah.
Alisson in goal, isn't it? You know, there's just no panic at all. Has anyone been tweeting in over the last few minutes?
Let's have a look who we've got then, who are some of our newer ones. So you've got Nikesh Pode, who hasn't said where he's tweeting in from, but he has just said, we are the champions, with 19 in the IO there, because just in case you wanted to be reminded of it, it is 19 leagues. We've got Jeremy Rafsanjani, who is also from Indonesia, saying, hi, I am also from Indonesia, #StandRed. You can say now that you're big in Indonesia. This is official. You can say it.
Yeah, definitely. I think Liverpool are big in Indonesia. It's amazing. Thank you to everyone for tuning in and listening to us. It makes us feel like we're doing something worthwhile, you know what I mean?
Definitely, and that we're all kind of watching this together, even though we can't be there, but we're all experiencing it in the same way. But we've also got, elsewhere we've got Malak Banhashuli, who says, love from India. And then we've got Fajri, we've already had, he's written in again. We've got Fajri Ramdani, who has said, Stevie Irie on the wing, we had dreams and songs to sing.
Well, who am I to argue with you? Smart play there from Trent winning the corner. It's a corner. You know what chant comes on the corners by now. Fizzled into nothing.
I'll tell you what, you must have some sort of, like, you can mind read what people are wanting to hear, because CA has just said, Poetry in Motion, the best football team in the land. Yes, we are. It's like, as you're thinking of them, they're the ones that they're asking for. But if you're just joining us, this is the StandRed soundboard, brought to you by Standard Chartered. And what we're trying to do is bring you the sounds and the atmosphere, the energy and the passion that you would be feeling if you were in Anfield right now, watching the Reds on their first game back at home after being crowned Premier League champions. Jamie Webster is providing you with all of the music, all the chants, everything to kind of try and give you that feeling of being there without actually being there, and ultimately to make us feel like we're all together experiencing this incredible Liverpool side. It is still 0-0, but we're hoping we might be able to spur them on a little bit with our atmosphere and our chants that we're doing here. And if you want to get involved, you want to tell us what you want to hear, you want to give us some suggestions for what we could be playing, let us know, get in touch with #StandRed, and we can have a look at what we've got on the soundboard and if we can use it to spur the lads on.
Defo. And yeah, I think let's just take it into half time with a bit of a lay again.
We've conquered all of Europe. We're never gonna stop. From Paris down to Turkey, we've won the fucking lot. But Paisley and Shankly, the fields of Anfield Road.
Sorry about that.
We are all supporters, and we come from Liverpool. Allez, allez, allez. Allez, allez, allez. Allez, allez, allez. Allez, allez, allez. From Paris down to Turkey, we've but Paisley, Hampton, Shankly, the fields of Anfield Road. We are all supporters, and we come from Liverpool. Allez, 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 allez. We've conquered all of Europe, we're never gonna stop. From Paris down to Turkey, we've won the hearts. But Paisley, Hampton, Shankly, the fields of Anfield Road. We are all supporters, and we come from Liverpool. Allez, 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 allez. We've conquered all of Europe, we're never gonna stop. From Paris down to Turkey, we've won hearts. But Paisley, Hampton, Shankly, the fields of Anfield Road. We are all supporters, and we come from Liverpool. Allez, 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 allez.
Do you feel like this has given you a newfound respect for the people that do your sound levels, that there's like a lot to be keeping on top of with the soundboard?
Yeah, defo. Yeah, definitely, and probably it's even worse when I'm shouting at you, telling you that things need to be louder as the gig goes on.
I promise I won't shout at you at any point.
But that's it. No, I mean, when I'm playing live, sometimes like the crowd may get louder and I can't hear myself, so I'll be shouting 1,000 people deep to tell them to basically turn me up, and I can't imagine it to be the most easy thing to do. But yeah.
We're almost at the half-time mark now, so once we're at the break, we're going to be chatting to Jason McAteer again, who's going to be giving us his thoughts on how this half has gone, basically, and kind of what's missing, what Liverpool need to change up potentially, and just how it's all gone so far. So it'll be exciting to hear what he's got to say about it when he joins us again.
Yeah, it hasn't been the most exciting game personally for me, but you know, obviously for yourself, it's watching the same game. But yeah, it's hopefully Klopp has a good word with them at half time, and well, there it is. There's the half time whistle.
So I'm hoping that we've got Mr. Jason McAteer back with us and able to hear us again. Jason, are you okay? I don't know if we've got Jason just yet, so I'm going to start off by asking you if that's all right. What do you make of their performance so far? And I don't know, who do you think is missing? Is it just down to a player? Is it down to the way that we're playing? What is it that's kind of not clicking yet?
Well, I think Villa is set up to frustrate us, and they're looking to hit us on the counter-attack. So I think the way the Villa are paddling bodies forward, I think it's maybe playing on the player's mind a little bit on how to you know, approach the attack. But I just think that yeah, it's going to come. I think it was never going to be an easy game. I think it's just obviously Villa are fighting. We're champions. I think it's just a case of Jürgen getting the boys in. Obviously he'll see where we need to improve, and hopefully come out second half.
Yeah.
Firing all guns blazing.
Jason, are you with us now? Can you hear us? I still don't think we've got Jason yet, but Jamie, who would you like to see brought on kind of later maybe? I know we don't often make substitutions at halftime, but who would you like to see brought on to maybe bring that extra something to it, to kind of liven the side back up?
I mean, me personally, Curtis Jones has just signed a new deal. There's a couple of young players on the bench. I personally, it's not like we have anything to lose in terms of being the champions or the league. I think why not bring a young lad on in midfield, someone who's got something to prove, someone who really has something to play for.
Hello and welcome back to the Stand Red Soundboard, brought to you by Standard Chartered, where we are bringing you the chants, the music, the noise, the energy, the atmosphere that you would be getting if you were in the Cop at Anfield in your house, because none of us can be in the ground. We can't have it as we wanted it to welcome Liverpool back home, but this is the next best thing we've got. I'm Emilia Bona, I've got Jamie Webster who is doing the soundboard, and we are joined by Jason McAteer now. We had a few technical issues before half-time, but Jason, you are with us and I am eager to know your thoughts on that first half.
Well, it's obviously disappointing having so much possession. I think we've had about 74% possession, only created 2 chances, you know, and it's been similar for them in the sense of they created 2 chances as well. So we just haven't been clinical. We haven't had a cutting edge to us. You've got to give credit to Villa. They've defended really well. They've condensed the lines. They've suffocated Liverpool and, you know, stopped them from really creating anything in the final third. So you've got to give them credit for them. But you just think with the team that Jurgen's gone for, he's gone for a bit more pace with Origi up top and a bit more creativity with Kite and Oxlade-Chamberlain. It just hasn't worked. It just seems a little bit disjointed. Your passes going astray. So, yeah, it just needs a little bit of magic, something out of nothing. We've got a bench there which, you know, we can look at really creative attacking players to put on. So I'd give them another 10 or 15 minutes. I'd make 2 or 3 changes.
Yeah. Well, who would you be bringing on then, Jace? Who do you think is missing that could bring those things that you rightly say are lacking from that first half? Who would you be looking to bring on?
Well, I think, you know, through the games in lockdown, it's quite evident that the players have been tiring in the last 20 minutes. Every team, every player has been tiring. I think that's, you know, that's a big motivation to change it. You know, you've got fresh legs that you could bring on. I'm just having a look at Liverpool's bench. Obviously, there's a lot more players now to pick from because you can have them. I mean, Harvey Elliott's on the bench. You've got Firmino. You know, so you've got plenty of attacking options on there. I'd definitely bring Bobby on because I just think because they're defending really deep. It's just not really working for Divock Origi. There's just no space in behind for him to run in behind. So, you know, I bring Bobby on for me, you know, because he likes to go to the ball, attract players, pull them out of position. And we know how well he plays with Salah and Mane as well. I'd be inclined maybe to make a change, but I'd bring Harvey Elliott on. I just think he's got bags of ability. He can see a pass, he can open things up. And he's got bags of energy. So they're 2 I'd definitely bring on.
Yeah, I can't say I don't agree with you there, Jace. I think a young player with a bit of fire in his belly would be good for the team at the moment, maybe to take the game to Villa. In terms of our job with the Chants, how did you like how we got on? Did it, alright, the football wasn't there to match it, but did we do a good job?
You can only play with what you've got, Jay, can't you? I mean, if the team aren't delivering, then it makes your job a lot harder. But you're definitely man of the match at the minute, mate. Definitely man of the match at the minute.
Right. To anyone watching, these are words of a very, very, very wise man.
Thank you so much for that, Jason. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to catching up with you at the end of the game when my prediction may have come true.
Well, yeah.
See you soon, Jace.
So we're about to get back into it, and what are we going to get started with, Jamie? What are we going to do to really get that atmosphere up at the start of the game?
Short and sweet, Liverpool. Right, let's give it a little bit faster.
There it is. saying earlier about chants that they're... Oh.
Go on.
There are names that that kind of stick around, and you've got to be like legendary status. I think you said it was Barnes that was saying it, that it's got to be the likes of Stevie I, where you've got to be one of them to keep having your name sung. But then we're still, you know, you've still got Lewis Garcia, you've still got the Stephen Gerrard chant. What are the names that, you know, decades on even, we're still chanting?
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously the Stevie I way, there's... You talk about Ian Rush, he gets mentioned doing Paul Scholes with Tommy, he's obviously Dalglish. These are all massive players. You know, I think Lewis, like you say, I think you pretty much nailed them in everything you said. To be honest, you haven't left me with too many more.
Sorry.
Lewis Garcia obviously scored important goals in a recent time. So Lewis Garcia is one that always gets sung. I mean, I prefer to keep, unless it's a song like The Fields of Anfield Road, I tend to keep the actual player chants about the players who are playing at the moment in time, do you know what I mean? But definitely, Louis, I've had the pleasure of meeting Louis. He's a great fella, and obviously what he done for the football team was absolutely unbelievable. I've got a funny feeling that Divock Origi's name might stay in there, you know, because of what he'd done in Madrid and his cameo appearances and stuff like that. So let's hear him. And I wonder how long it will be until we see this fella.
There's something like a couple to know. The festival is coming early, yo. I know the night. Getting all I guess on every time.
Every time.
Sweet say no. Guess the balls are rolling, we will score. There's something like a couple to know. The festival is coming early, yo. I know the night. Getting all I guess on every time.
Every time.
Sweet say no. Guess the balls are rolling, we will score.
There's a few chances. I have, you know what? I always do that. I have my next chant lined up, and then it sort of just stifles me in me tracks. But I suppose that's the good thing about being in an actual ground. You'll always have someone next to you ready to fire away with another one. But I've thought of one now anyway. Bit of a heart in the moment mouth there, that wasn't it? I mean, rightly so, flag for offside, but nothing like getting over that with another chance.
There are often moments, especially in games like this, where it's feeling a bit stale or a bit like we're not where we want to be, and maybe the mood's gone down a bit in the ground, where there's always someone that'll start a chant like that, and it does just lift the entire ground up with them, and you kind of all get into this slump where you feel a bit hopeless, and all it takes is that one chant to really bring the mood back up. And I'm sure it feels the same if you're on the pitch. Yeah,
I mean, sometimes it's a chant, or funny enough, sometimes it's actually an insult towards either one of our players or another player that lifts everyone else in the ground. But we're not here to do that today, so I'll just bring you the chants. Quick thinking from Alison there, like, wasn't it?
Wish I had a scarf.
Oh, Mo had a flag and everything. He must have took it with him. Divock there with the heroics in his own penalty box for once.
Absolutely.
He's a hero all over the park, isn't he? Do you know what? He deserves another one for that.
Oh, and as if by magic.
Mo's brought his flag back.
There it is.
Tear it for Virgil then, come on.
Go on then, give me one I can have a little.
Got that passion in every sense.
See,
passion in everything.
Mo's just got it's like he heard you. He's brought his flag.
Yeah.
And,
We've got a new Mo this week.
there's like certain chances you say that at the start of the half, at the start of the game, you'll always hear. But there's also, I wish we could get on the soundboard. Like there'll always be that fella going, "Come on, red men!" at the start of every single part of it, or being like, "Into these reds." If you could get one of those, that'd be great.
Yeah, I know. I wish I could. To be honest, you know what? Funny enough, there's actually a fella who goes to all the away games, and I dread being stood by him. I really do, because he says, I think he's saying, "Come on, Liverpool," but he's like, I've heard him speak, and he can speak fine, normal, and then every time it comes to this, I don't know how he hasn't blew the whistle, but we'll break. He goes, "Have you Liverpool?" like that, and I don't know what he's trying to say, but that's his only shout all game.
Every single time he's got it.
I doubt he'll be watching this, to be honest, but if he is, hello, and I notice what you say every game.
And you miss it. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, come on, let's get some chants going. It's nice to see Pepe Reina back there. I wish I had one for Pepe Reina, his old chant, but let's bring it back.
There's something that the couple choose to know. The festival is coming 30 years. I know the night. Cannonballs against on every side. Sweet signals. Guess the balls are rolling, we will score. There's something that the couple choose to know. The festival is coming 30 years. I know the night. Cannonballs against on every side. Sweet signals. Guess the balls are rolling, we will score.
Divock still got it in. I'm not going to go with another chant until this attack's ended. Let's see what we can get from this. Yeah, let's keep the pressure up. Keep the pressure up. Oh yeah, there's Jordan Henderson coming on now, hopefully, and looks like Gini Wijnaldum as well. The midfield's getting changed around. Tell you what, we're just going to have to keep the pressure on again, aren't we, until a couple of the players come on and step it up for us. one fella to shout for after that interception. Aston Villa are just making it very difficult for us at the moment in time. I mean, I think nearly every player on the pitch is in that final third. So it's not going to be an easy day at the office. We need a bit of attack, and we need. But you know, let's give us one more chance just for the time being, just to see if it can do anything for us. You never know. Very nearly did,
almost.
Didn't it? Very nearly. So here's the corner chant. Didn't really, it was offside anyway. It wasn't the best work corner. Seeing as we're like, you know, on the 60-minute mark now, the hour mark, has anyone been tweeting in?
Should we have a look what people have been saying, see if they've got any words of wisdom for us? So we've got, we haven't had someone come in from Egypt before, so we've got Mo H, who has sent us his love from Egypt, which is great. Then we've got a request next from Yudha Sentio Dan, who has said, he's from Indonesia as well, and has asked that we can play the Fields of Anfield Road. He asks you specifically for it. He said, Jamie, can you please play the Fields of Anfield Road?
Of course I can do. That's the first one on the list. Is there any more come in?
We've got Tiago Views from Brazil. That's another first for this game so far.
I think I remember him from the last one. I'm not good at pronouncing the names, but remembering them I'm not too bad with, and I think he's tweeted him before, so hello Tiago.
Thank you for joining us again. Well, he's asked me what my favourite chant is, and then says, greetings from Brazil, go on Red, stand Red. I think mine has got his poetry emotion the same as Mo's, because it's got quite a special place in my heart, because it's probably the first time I was in the ground, that was the first chant that I heard, and I think every time I hear it, I feel like that again. So I love that one. If you could cue that one up as the second one, then I'd be grateful.
I'll see if it makes it onto the list. I'll see, but I think we should be all right. But for now, let's go with our man from Indonesia's request again. He's right, loving the love from Indonesia as well. He's right. There you go. And as we are the best football team in the land, it's always good to reiterate that we are champions of Europe as well. looks like he's packed the midfield out a little bit there, doesn't he?
It's been, do you feel like there's been a kind of step change, or like it feels different this half? Because it's still frustrating to watch, but I don't know if it feels like maybe we're in it a bit more.
I feel like the couple of changes he's made we seem to have the ball in higher up the pitch. You know what I mean? We seem to be in better areas with the ball. I think it's going to take a couple of minutes for the players to sort of work out where they're playing, because it seems to be a bit of a strange system. But you know, the only thing we can do is give them another chance, isn't it? I think that's the only thing.
Bring it on.
That's the only thing we're good for at this moment in time, Emilia. But
it's what we've got. It's what we're going to work with.
And I'll give one for Virgil.
Go.
Right on cue. And here's a corner. Oh, I'm not having that. Not having it.
You can tell villagers know exactly what they need to do to get through this 90 minutes. A team that are where they are in the league and we are the champions of it. This should not be how this game is going.
Yeah, no, I mean, actually, to be fair, brave play from the goalkeeper. Yeah, Villa are in a tough position, aren't they? And so, like Jason said at half time, that they're doing really well. I think one thing definitely here, I think a full Anfield, everyone singing the songs, arms down together, I think it would definitely be a different story. I think it would definitely make a difference. But, you know, unfortunately, every team's going to have to play without that sort of home advantage, like Jason said. But we're just going to have to keep bringing the chance to them, aren't we?
We can still have it in our front rooms, can't we?
Yeah,
we can
that's
pretend
it.
we're there.
And here's another one.
Conquered all of Europe, we're never gonna stop. From Paris down to Turkey, we've won but Paisley, Hampton, Shankly, the fields of Anfield Road. We are all supporters, and we come from Liverpool. Allez, allez, allez. Allez, allez, allez. Allez, allez, allez. Allez, allez, allez. We've conquered all of Europe, we're never gonna stop. From Paris down to Turkey.
Listen to the shakers in the chorus.
But Paisley, Hampton, Shankly, the fields of Anfield Road. We are all supporters, and we come from Liverpool.
Ready?
Allez, allez, allez. Allez, allez, allez. Allez, allez, allez. Allez, allez, allez. We've conquered all of Europe, we're never gonna stop. From Paris down to Turkey.
Bet you didn't know how many good songs had shakers in them.
But Paisley, Hampton, Shankly, the fields of Anfield Road. We are all supporters, and we come from Liverpool. Allez, allez, allez. Allez, allez, allez. Allez, allez, allez. Allez, allez, allez. We've conquered all of Europe, we're never gonna stop. From Paris down to Turkey, we've Shankly, the fields of Anfield Road. We are those supporters, and we come from Liverpool. Allez, 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 allez.
Do you reckon I can get a set of them for next week?
Your guess is as good as mine. I mean, I should have a couple somewhere. I'll bring them in for you if you want.
It would make a 0-0 livelier than a pair of those shakers in every single song.
Yeah, do you know what would be good? And I'll rattle like they used to have on the cop years ago. Have you ever seen the pictures?
There's a fella that sits by us that has one of those. It's like his old noisemaker. He gets it out sometimes.
Yeah, they're absolutely amazing. That's like you know, I think modern football people sometimes like to have two of them blow up sticks to bang together. But I think the proper way of doing it would just to get the old noisemakers out and just rattle away and scream Liverpool to the top of your voice. I think that's the best thing. Coming out of a water break now, I mean, I think these water breaks have been good. I think they come in handy in games like today. But you know, when you're not on top of the momentum, but no way to come out of a water break then with a chant, of course.
Bring us up.
Keep the pressure up here.
They need it. Oh,
Get in!
Yes!
Relief.
Brilliant. Need another one straight after, definitely.
Do you know what? I had that lined up last time for the City game, right? I had it lined up, crowd one, and then number 9, because it's that's what happens when Liverpool score. Always we come in with that chant, that Liverpool, Liverpool, and I worked it out after the 4th goal against Crystal Palace, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, next goal, I'm going to do it. We didn't score another against Crystal Palace, and then against Man City, we didn't score one at all.
Didn't actually, I haven't got to use it fully yet, but that was perfect. That was exactly how it would be if you're in the ground.
That's exactly it. And I think the best way to do it, we'll just keep the chants going now. Anfield's bouncing now. no surprise since the introduction of this player though that the game stepped up a little bit. Here he is now. Every time. Unbelievable covering there from Joe Gomez.
There he is.
Give it again. This song would even have Chelsea fans nodding their heads.
I was ready then. I would have gone in with the tune.
We nearly sung him in with the song there. You know what I mean?
I tell you what, you were right when you said you notice Henderson. I know this isn't a Henderson thing, but you notice Henderson on the pitch as soon as he comes on, doesn't he? I wish he had a better chant, if anything. I know he's got one, but he deserves one that's as catchy as Bobby's.
I know. It's just. I think it's a name thing with Henderson.
Yeah.
Actually, let's keep the pressure on. It is a good one. That's got to be a free kick, that. The other way. No, Wijnaldum first.
Between that and there's been a few for Salah as well, where I think, the boo noise is definitely required.
But definitely going back to Jordan Henderson, I mean, I think he's a leader. I don't think there's any question about it anymore. And I think his energy, his knowledge of the game, his ability to read the game, I think it's just missed. You need them authoritative figures in your team. That's why you have captains, because they do a job. And Jordan Henderson's one of the best about. I think he has been for a number of years now for Liverpool Football Club. Just going on, just thinking, as we're talking, what are the rest of the fans in the world saying?
Well, let's have a look what they've been saying and who they might have been asking for a chance from. So this is a new location. Ahmad Jimenez is from Panama, and he says, from Panama, chant the fields of Anfield Road. So that's one for the list when we get back to the chants.
Been a fan favourite today, that one, hasn't it?
People love it, I tell you what. And then we've got Nurul Izzati, who is from Indonesia, again, who says, the first round will end, but how do you respond, Jamie? #StandRed, #Murdy Sagrada. I think that might have been from when we were at half-time, maybe. That one's just come through now. Vitor from Brazil has just said Flamengo and then says a Brazilian football club, which got to respect it. Then we've got Samir Nile, who is saying, I hope there will be a very strong score from Firmino or Salah. Well, do you know what? There is still time left and we could still get that. It looked like Firmino fancied it there. So should we give Ahmad his chant first?
Ahmad, there you go, fella. Well,
if you are just joining us now and you've just heard the fields of Anfield Road there, we are bringing you not just that, but all of the chants that you would normally be hearing in the Kop at Anfield. Obviously, we can't be there Liverpool are champions of the Premier League, but it's in a different way to what we imagine. So with the Stand Red soundboard brought to you by Standard Chartered, Jamie and I are going to be bringing you all of the chants that you miss and all of that atmosphere that you're missing to try and make you feel like you're in the ground. So if there's any that you're really missing and wish you could hear either by being in the ground or by watching it from somewhere else in the world, let us know what those chants are. Tweet in with #StandRed and let us know what you want to be played on the soundboard. But what do you reckon's next, Jamie? We've had a goal that we very much needed for 70 minutes there. So what's going to bring us back up? Try and get us a second, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think we just need to keep on keeping on. I think maybe the introduction of a young lad, like I've said a couple of times now, with a bit of fire in his belly. I think the main thing that drives the players on is chance. To anyone who's tuned in as well, one day I will get this right, where when we score, I will press the button on time. But it is quite hard to actually be a fan and react and, you know, naturally react and both press a button at the same time. But we will get there. But for now, I think the best way to get us back in the mood is another chance. So let's go. That one always takes me back to that year where we won the Champions League in 05. It was just absolutely special. At the end of every game, it was almost like, yeah, we're going to somewhere else. We're an amazing team.
What are some others that you remember from that season? Are there any that we've got on the soundboard that were like big when that was happening?
Well, yeah, actually, this one. And while we're on the subject of Europe, let's keep it Europe.
There are different chants, aren't there, for like if it's a European night or if it's a game like this, for example, you know that the atmosphere is going to be that little bit different. And I think that's probably the same when you're there as compared to when you're watching it. Watching Barcelona on the telly, you would have noticed there was something different about it to kind of to your normal Premier League game.
Yeah, 100%. Europe, I think European nights at Anfield, for those who are watching who've witnessed them, they always have that sort of little. It's more European, I suppose. It's got that special sort of flair or spark about it, much like that same sort of feeling that you get when you're going on holiday, I think.
Yeah.
Compared to, like, you know, just a normal weekend.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's never bad to be in Europe or champions of the Premier League. I think so. Let's go back towards maybe someone who's been a big reason why we've won the Premier League, and I think that's Virgil van Dijk.
I think for a lot of people, they'll have heard those. Obviously, you've done tours when you've gone kind of on pre-season, or there's like the fan parks on the big European aways. But a lot of people will probably have seen you do them at boss nights around the world when you've done those big spectacles for people. But if anyone that's watching it hasn't seen, what's the kind of, as part of that atmosphere with a game, what's a boss night? How is it different?
Yeah, a boss night. Sometimes it's not even on the day of the game. It's just basically a reason for Liverpool fans to get together in the name of football and, well, Liverpool FC and music and yeah, just feel part of something. It basically gives you an Anfield-like atmosphere away from Anfield.
Wherever you are in the world, and it creates it, doesn't it? And it's a totally different group of people wherever you go, but it seems to give you that spirit of it. And you've got your way now. You've got one of the young lads coming on as well. So there you go. Should we give him a chant to welcome him?
Yeah, let's just. I think because we don't have a chant for this young lad yet, I think we'll just give him a Liverpool one. Being that he's from Liverpool. Curtis Jones showing a little bit of initiative there, looking to celebrate that new contract with a goal, I think. Good on you, Curtis, lad. And probably, you know what's funny as well? Curtis was probably, how old is he? Maybe 18, 19, 20. Pepe Reina was probably the goalkeeper who was in Curtis's Liverpool team as a kid, and there he is playing at Anfield.
That's got to be a bizarre feeling for him stepping onto the pitch, and while he might not have kind of the noise that you'd normally expect, it's still got to have that weight of kind of, well, it's so important for him. It's a huge thing to get to feel that.
Yeah, definitely, and I think let's not forget Curtis felt the full passion of Anfield when he scored that goal against Everton in the FA Cup. So
absolutely.
Yeah, the young lads had more than most senior players have had, scoring a winner in a Merseyside derby, being a local lad. Fair play to the lad. I wish him all the success. Let's get back into it with the chants. I think Andy Robbo's been our outlet, hasn't he? But it's a corner. Done well to keep the pressure on now.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, as we're getting into the final few minutes, there's been quite a few more comments that have been coming in from around the world, so I'll fire through a few of those and see if they've got any suggestions for our last few chants if you want. So we've got Jordan Bowen has said, Allez, 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 hashtag stand red. We've got Jemmy Rafsani, who has said, I really like the way both of you celebrate it. Love Emilia's passion. Thank you, Jeremy. Then we've got Itatsu from Japan, who has said, come on, Reds, love from Japan, hashtag stand red. Nicholas Hartenfaust from Germany, which is probably the closest location we've had so far for this, has said, hi guys, after an arduous fight, we can call ourselves the champions. Greetings from Dusseldorf in Germany. Poetry in motion, Jamie, please. Hashtag stand red.
Let's go there then, let's go. Get in!
Yes!
Get in.
He's heard you.
Absolutely great goal that, wasn't it?
You can see they're all made up for him as well. Like the more senior players in the squad, you can see they're all like, absolutely, lad. Like it's one of his first games for the first team and he's doing this still.
First Premier League goal in front of the Kop. Congratulations, lads.
That was brilliant, wasn't it? That was exactly what we needed. I know the game hasn't gone how we wanted for the first half of it, but you couldn't have really asked for more for the second, could you?
No, you couldn't. Like you say, it's 2 goals. It looks to be a clean sheet. Looks like now getting the second goal so late on in the game looks to, well, hopefully it knocks the stuffing out of Villa a little bit. You know, listen, there's 5 minutes left at Anfield. We're 2-0 up. We're looking like we're going to cruise our way to victory. So Curtis Jones again with another great bit of work defensively. The only way, this is what happens every time at Anfield when Liverpool are about to sing themselves into another 3 points. We sing the song that we started off with. Great save from Alisson there as well. Managed to stay composed through all of that. Here it is, you'll never walk alone.
I tell you what, the first time I get to hear that back in the ground, I am going to weep.
Oh, definitely. I mean, personally, like, there's not. I mean, I know some people who actually can't listen to this song at Anfield because it's got so many, such emotional sort of pull towards it. But let's just listen to it.
Well, as we're just coming to the end now, we've got a few final comments that I'm just going to get through so that everyone that's been tweeting in on the hashtag #StandRed can have their voice on it. So we've had David Edwards, who's in Liverpool. I think that's our first comment from Liverpool so far today.
It is.
And he said, let's not forget, we are also champions of the world. How could we forget that, David? And then we've got the Pasaki boys again, who came on right at the start from Indonesia, who have said, Jamie, bring Boss Night to Indonesia, please. So there you go. You've got the invite now.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. If it was that easy, I'd be there tomorrow. But let's hope that in the future we can work something like that out. I'd love to travel to every single corner of the world, every single continent, every single town. If there's Liverpool fans there, I'd love to come and sing to you.
Absolutely.
That's not the issue. It's just finding the right time, finding the right place. There's a lot that goes into this, but hopefully one day.
One day. Well, they can wait for that. And we've also had Arthur the Barber from England, who has said, Allez, Allez, Allez. And finally, Fajri Rahmadi has been on again to say, Alisson has been man of the match for me. So I think once we've had the final whistle, we're going to get kind of our thoughts on that. And we're also going to have Jason McAteer telling us potentially who his man of the match is and how he thinks it's all gone. But we've got a minute left, and it's been a much better second half for us.
Definitely so. I mean, thought we were going to celebrate another goal there. I mean, there was talk before the game about, potentially Villa having a good record at Anfield, and they really do. I can remember being frustrated a few times by Villa. Looked like they were on course to do it again today, but thankfully these Reds weren't going to be. They weren't going to settle for anything less than 3 points. Coming back, first game as champions to Anfield, we knew the score. We didn't know what the score was going to be, but we knew it would be a win. And hopefully to everyone who's been sort of watching at home, we've brought you that little bit closer to Anfield. Definitely, it always helps me a little bit when I come to these, because it's sort of, even just listening to You'll Never Walk Alone then, as we were sort of cruising out towards another win, and there's the whistle.
It makes you feel like you're there, doesn't it? But we've got Jason McAteer, who's going to talk us through his thoughts on that. Jason, I mean, it's a very different picture to the one that I was speaking to you about just before the second half there. What do you make of that performance?
Much better second half. I thought the first half was a little bit disjointed, passes going astray, a little bit off with the touch, and obviously we just couldn't sort of find any fluidity or tempo really in that first half. They were sitting deep. They defended really, really well. They were compact, and they did make it very difficult for Liverpool. But I thought we would have had enough on the pitch to at least create more than just the 2 chances, especially with 75% possession that we had. And then we said, didn't we? I mean, Jamie and yourself, we said, we fancied a couple of changes second half, and Firmino came on, who drags players into areas they don't want to go. And you could see straight away with Jordan Henderson's introduction that the tempo changed, the attitude changed. And I just think, with the industry that Wijnaldum brings as well, when we press, we were winning the ball in better areas. I'm able to create things, and things did open up. And as I said, players are getting tired now this last 20 minutes since they've come back from lockdown, and that's when you've got to be able to step it up. It was 3 very good substitutions, and obviously then Curtis Jones comes on and gets the second one to settle it all down. But second half, miles better.
And on Curtis, I mean, Jason, you know what it's like, because you're not just a Liverpool legend, you're a Liverpool fan yourself. And for Curtis at that young age, having just kind of signed his contract, to walk onto the pitch and get to do that, to score a goal like that, how do you think that feels for him?
Well, he probably takes it all in his stride, Curtis, doesn't he? He's so laid back. Nothing really looks to faze him. I mean, to come on to play in a derby and spin one into the top corner from 25 yards is phenomenal. A kid of his age to have that kind of confidence to do that. So it was great to see him come on. It was great to see him, take a shot early doors, just to show everyone that he's not frightened. These, big players around him. There's some big stars around him that he could have easily just laid it off to, but he wanted to pull the trigger and have a go. Didn't come off for him, but it shows the confidence he's got. And then he gets himself into a really good position, having really started the move. He gets on the end of a little knockdown from Salah. It was a little deflection, but they all count, and that'll do his confidence, the world of good. Not that he needs, any more bolstering on that confidence, but it's always nice. Just a shame. It's just a shame. I listened to Jamie. It's just a shame he scored Cop End. There was no one there. I mean, that's a dream come true, to score Cop End at Anfield.
It would have been very different. Well, I think the question that Jamie's probably waiting to ask you is, we've talked about Liverpool's performance there, but what about Jamie's on the soundboard?
Yeah, am I still your man of the match, Jace, or are you gonna swerve me off and give it to Curtis?
To be fair, mate, I am going to bin you, but for at least 60 minutes, you were definitely man of the match.
What?
For 60 minutes, man of the match,
60?
mate. And then, yeah, and then Jordan Henderson comes on for the last half an hour and steals your thunder.
Ruins it for you.
Do you know what, Jace? Right, I'll happily take. I'll lose the title to Jordan Henderson. Do you know what I mean? I think everyone knows how much of a Jordan Henderson fan I am, and since we became mates on Instagram, I'm even more of a Jordan Henderson fan. So yeah, I'll take the loss to him.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Jason. It's been great to have you on.
Yeah, brilliant. Take care. It's great to see you. Great results as well. Take care.
Amazing.
Take care, Jace. Right, up the Reds.
Well, there you go. Jamie being the whole crowd for the entire game again. Absolutely smashed it, I reckon. And I'd like to think that we helped along with those 2 goals. We made them possible. We brought the atmosphere around the world.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Like I say, it's nice to be able to share this experience with so many fans from around the world, without actually being in the vicinity with so many fans from around the world like we would be at Anfield every week.
Yeah.
So I guess I'd just like to extend a thank you to everyone for watching, and also a thank you to Standard Chartered for making this all possible for us.
Absolutely. Thank you to Standard Chartered for the Stand Red soundboard that we can all enjoy together, and for making this all possible. I hope you'll join us again for our next fixture. But that's it from me and Jamie.
See you later.